During the early modern period, England was constantly changing and evolving to keep up with global competition. I have selected a few images that are representative of major themes and people during the early modern period and show the evolution of English culture. The following snapshot project will provide a brief glimpse into the emerging religious, military, and cultural views at the time. The first image I have selected, called the Allegory of Tudor Succession, represents the tension between the Protestants and Catholics and the emerging national identity of England. On the right side, you will notice the goddesses of peace and plenty, as well as the Protestant Queen Elizabeth. Elizabeth is holding the hand of the goddess of peace, representing a new era of peaceful monarchy. Henry, Elizabeth's father, is sitting on his throne and handing down the sword of justice to his son, Edward VI, who is also Protestant. This is symbolic of the generations of power passed down through English heritage. On the left side, you will notice Mars, the god of war, alongside Mary Tudor and her husband Philip II, who were Catholic. Mars was included with Mary and Philip to portray the era of instability and war that preceded the reign of Elizabeth. This portrait not only shows the existing tension between Protestants, but also the national unity and identity associated with Elizabeth. The Ditchley portrait was especially interesting to me because it is strongly representative of English power and the global dominance of the English Navy. In the portrait, Elizabeth is seen standing on top of a map of the world, signifying her position essentially as the ruler of the world. In the background, the sun is shining, which is representative of the constant presence that England maintains in territory all over the world. This portrait helps promote an English identity and strong nationalism in the English people. The next image is a portrait of Elizabeth I in commemoration of the defeat of the Spanish Armada. The portrayal of Elizabeth's paleness is a testament to her nobility. Nobles lived in elaborate castles and therefore were not outside and affected by the sun as much as peasants. Elizabeth is also resting her hand on a globe, symbolic of England's dominance. The monarchy is a position of world power and shows that Elizabeth has an immense amount of control over not just England, but all colonies throughout the world. Behind Elizabeth is a battle scene of the defeat of the Spanish Armada. This was a monumental victory and established England as the premier world power and solidified a national identity in the English people. The defeat of the Spanish Armada was perhaps the most influential event leading into the early modern period and symbolized the transformation of England into the world's most powerful country. Previously, the Spanish Armada ruled the seas and led the world in exploration. However, the Spanish defeat propelled England onto the world stage as the leading country in exploration during the age of imperialism. The victory in the Battle of Agincourt by Henry V against the French was crucial in the development of the English identity. Warfare was reliant on the values of honor and chivalry, which were a major component of the early modern period. Henry's deliverance of the St. Crispin's Day speech before the battle signified fighting for an English nation. The victory further developed the English identity and growing nationalism. The final image is representative of exploration, travel, and the exotic ideas about Moors. Moors were not seen very often in England, and therefore, many of the notions that existed were either prejudicial or based on curiosity. The English were suspicious of the idea of Moors having a position of nobility, but were also curious as to the lifestyle of the Middle East. This image is particularly significant because it represents the first attempt to alter Othello's appearance and portray him as Moroccan rather than African. The man in the photo, Edmund Kean, played the part with bronze-colored skin, an exotic turban, and flowing robes, which provides a sense of Othello's nobility. The images that have been presented show themes of religious tension, national identity, global power, and exploration. Each adds a unique cultural element to the early modern period.